Okay, guys, squabble up. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna show you quickly for how to snipe other popular guides out there, other content from other creators, and create basically guides out of them. So you find a trending product, you find basically the YouTube video that solves some sort of a problem, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna create a guide out of it, and then what you're gonna do, you're gonna sell that guide to on threads. So I'm gonna quickly show you the whole process from start to finish. So the most important part for you guys is to definitely have Notion. So in Notion, you could quickly show all of the skeleton structure of your company and quickly be able to recreate whatever the kind of content that exists out there. And I'm gonna literally show you how I'm creating a product directly. I'm literally creating one of those pills of freedom that I constantly refer to as in Feudal Incubator. And I have different Feudal Incubators. This one is for specifically for digital faceless marketing. Mom, this is called the Freedom Fusion Track Feudal Incubator. And this is different from Freedom Fusion Digital because uh, Freedom Fusion Track focuses more on AI and automations, that kind of stuff, while the Freedom Fusion Digital focuses more on digital faceless marketing. So over here, what we see on the right-hand side is a quick pill that I managed to construct. And keep something in mind, the same way how I showed you earlier in a previous workshops for how the pill gets dropped into Slack channel, that automation that I showed you last time, where if you followed my different workshops, you probably remember that if you're trying to build any kind of guide, if you're trying to build any kind of program, you definitely want to have some of those automations doing the legwork for you. So here's a couple of automations that are doing a little bit of legwork for me, such as automatic transcripts. Anytime I go on Zoom, automatically it gets dropped into Slack. The transcript gets created. The Google folder pops up with all the summary, and I could easily use this information to create fire-looking thread or a YouTube video or a description or anything else for that matter. In the previous workshops, I showed you how to create your own AI agent, kind of a style agent using N8N. And right now, what I'm showing you is what's so-called Freedom Fusion Track, which is part of the Feudal Incubators. And what this does, and as you can see, the automation kicked in from Notion. And of course, you guys will learn how to do those automations relatively quickly in Notion. That's not the purpose of today's workshop, but today's workshop is all about finding a product that you could recreate and snipe and create a guide out of it and sell it to other people. So the first thing what you want to do, you want to fire up and create like a little page over here. So if you see on the left-hand side, you kind of see my skeleton structure of the company. You see the operations, you see processes, you see the recording, you see the case studies. Keep something in mind that Notion has the AI functionality and it could feed all of the information that you enter it and you could search through it. It's a separate fee, but it's totally worth it. It's called Notion AI. And you definitely want to pay for that and get that. But the main thing here, what I wanted to talk to you about is the actual uh, example of how to actually snipe a product and how to build your own product real quick. I'm kind of showing you real quick the meetings and all the, so whenever a meeting taking place, I have a bunch of recordings kind of coming in, automatically getting recording on a calendar, etc., etc. So all of this information you could easily set up, and I show that on how to do this in different workshops. But once again, today's purpose is not to literally kind of uh, not to overwhelm you, but rather just show you a basic way for how to do this, how to create your own feudal incubator, how to have something that really stands out with your audience, and how to snipe products relatively quick and build it and make it easier for other people to consume. And so this way you could make some income. So how does it work? Right now I'm kind of clicking things, clicking away. I'm just trying to find a feudal incubator, but I could easily just search for that. And I'm just kind of quickly showing you the functionality of Notion. But over here I have Freedom Fusion Track. If I open that Freedom Fusion Track, it happens to be under program. This is my program. So when you start setting up your own Feudal Kingdom Academy, if you decided to build something like this where you have different types of programs, etc., then you definitely want to organize them in Notion the way I'm kind of doing it over here. And here's an example of Freedom Fusion Track. And if you go on the operations, this is programs. So in fact, I could go ahead and modify the icon real quick. you want to, that's the first thing you guys definitely want to organize yourself, include something, some beautiful icons. So this way it looks really beautiful for you. Include, so this way you feel like you're being welcomed in your own feudal kingdom versus just being like a process prisoner and feeling like you know, feeling missed out. So definitely create those little icons over here. And I'm kind of doing this right now. And this way it will give you warm and fuzzy feeling. Right now, I don't have products populated yet, just few products here and there. I definitely need to go ahead and populate the threads stack products, which includes threads booster, threads, threads, samurai, threads, themes. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of showing you basic functionality of Notion and also populating all of the products that are part of Thread Stack um, Power Bundle. And of course, as part of the Thread Stack Power Bundle, there's sub products as well, like Threads, Bots, RAG, for example. And of course, there's Threads Slacker, my favorite one. One of my favorite one that is tailored for moms who don't really speak English or who are deaf or have some sort of disability, but can use the power of AI to go ahead and help other moms. So right now, I just kind of created those products. And over here, the most important part is to first declare like what exactly each product does. And right now, just the first thing what you want to do, you want to create a list for yourself. You want to modify, always modify, include emojis right away to include emojis, as I mentioned. So this way you don't feel annoyed. Otherwise, you're going to feel annoyed looking at the things that just looks like something is missing out. You want to make sure that whenever you're building your feudal kingdom, whenever you're trying to build something like a program, coaching program, that you don't represent your company like it's like you're missing out on something. Make things beautiful. That's the first thing. Then the next thing what you want to do, you want to quickly go to you want to search for your actual program that you're offering. So I have Freedom Fusion Digital. Here's a digital, right? So this is Pills of Freedom for moms or for all sorts of moms who want to learn uh, from each of those pills, and each pill basically refers to a skill set. You could watch a particular skill set, you see what it offers. It has TikTok, it has the product, it has like a blue pill, red pill. Red pill is practical, blue pill is theoretical, the priority. What kind of community is it? Is it Freedom Fusion Land? Is it Freedom Fusion Path? What kind of difficulty level? Is it easy? What kind of pill is it? Is it a free pill? Is it red pill? Is it a premium pill? If it's free, then it goes out to across socials and people can consume it. If it's not, then definitely it becomes premium and you could only get that as part of your program. So you definitely want to have that metadata declared uh, and definitely want to have that structure up and running. But when you're good to go, when you have it all set up, you basically all you got to do is find your program and start creating a little pill of freedom. So right now, what we're doing, we fall in this concept of pill of freedom. So right now, I'm just gonna quickly modify that. But the idea here is status. You could indicate the status if you started working on this pill of freedom um, as in progress and effectively navigate further through this. And what's gonna happen, what you're gonna do, you're gonna share this as a template with other people and make it easy for other people to quickly consume your information. But first things first, I wanted to show you what you want to do. You want to create, obviously, a beautiful skeleton structure. So you want to include the names, you want to include the icon, you want to include the bio link. And the idea here is I'm talking about already a product that I managed to find some person on a YouTube that is talking about a product, how he built his own kind of second brain. What I did, I just modified his version of his second brain and basically just included as my own, but in context of my own brand, in context of my Feudal Kingdom Academy. And of course, you could inherit that brand and can still use the same context. I made feudal system framework really inheritable for any mom over 40 or any other kind of mom, meaning you could inherit feudal system framework and use that as your brand and grow your feudal kingdoms and kind of do this, incorporate whatever kind of videos you see out there as part of your feudal kingdom. So the idea here is what you do, you want to represent everything in a nice, concise manner. So this way you're no longer process prisoner. You could fly through each individual session and you could distribute those pills of freedom relatively easily to other moms. What I mean by the pills of freedom, if I go to let's say I go to ChatGPT, right? And I wanted to say, show me some pills of freedom from Freedom Fusion System on threads.net, right? And you're going to see examples of pills of freedom. So pills of freedom are like, it's really easy for you to kind of like to be able to take that metadata and show it represented as a pill of freedom directly on threads. Notice how over here you could see the pill of freedom shown over here, and people see that, and you could distribute that pill of freedom directly in threads and combine it together with your brand. So for example, over here you see
With
this.
my feudal army.
And give you the pills of freedom. Administered by feudal bots and supervised by feudal knights to help you discover freedom faster. Pop the blue pill, and I'll pop that pill too. So together, we unlock hybrid skills that are not taught in college, so you can become an ultimate hybrid side hustler. Team Path on my Insta to get access to Freedom Fusion Path community. Absolutely free to get started. Developing hybrid skills that are not taught in college.
So basically, guys, this is an example of the pill of freedom, and the idea here is, guys, when you create a thread, you want to automatically create a pill of freedom. I have an automation for that shows you how to do that. So this way you could streamline your marketing process together in context of developing content. So you want to combine marketing process that you're doing while you're marketing on threads. You also want to automatically populate information into Notion. I do have some examples of that from some of the pills of freedom that are already pre-created in what's so-called Freedom Fusion Digital Feudal Incubator, and you could get access to those pills of freedom to learn how to do that type of automation, how to get, whenever you go on threads, you create you start creating threads, and when you start creating it, it automatically creates a little pill of freedom in Notion. So now, why is it good? Well, because you could reference that pill of freedom yourself manually in threads down, like on your other threads account. You could reference that pill of freedom in context of your conversations. You could reference that in context of your AI bot, that very same AI bot that of course I showed you before, that talks about, that allows you to kind of interface with people. And of course you've already seen an example of that. So if I was to go to over here on my threads and show you an example of interaction and all sorts of activities that are taking place and people asking questions, then you could easily use those pills of freedom to reference information in the correct way to individual people. So like, for example, right click, ask GPT, right? And then you could say, respond not like a robot. And of course, you guys already seen an example of that. And out of a sudden, everything is get pasted automatically. All of my pills of freedom are already in there. I'm no longer that process prisoner. I could go ahead and hit copy, and boom, right away, I could just go ahead and respond. And guess what? It will already have everything populated, including everything else. So look, I just a sham scanning all her daughter's toys on Tuesday afternoon so she can upload a review on Amazon and make money. And then I said, digital moms, you're already doing what most want, showing up and stacking content. If you're scanning toys while building income, imagine what you could do to your commute. This might spark something. How to monetize your metro commute. Want to master threads and build your income stream? Check out Thread Stack, right? So like, look how crazy this is. And what you could do, you could literally just include Thread Stack. Here's the product, right? And this will go into that feed. And I'm gonna go ahead and respond, and boom, like I went ahead and responded, and that was super quick. Now, do you guys understand why you need to have pills of freedom nicely populated? Obviously, all those pills of freedom are on a spreadsheet in Google Spreadsheet, and of course, everything that you've seen populated from there. Of course, you guys already know. You've seen an example of the Google Sheet, and of course, you already seen. If I search for threads stack, you already seen an example of all of this Google Sheet and all the products over here, etc., etc. This is where you put more products. This is threads bots. I need to start creating and populating threads bots spreadsheet with those pills of freedom. But I'm going to show you how to do this in a way where you do this in Notion, and then what happens in Notion after you create that pills of freedom, you want to be populating them into basic columns. We could automate that later, whatever. It's not even a big deal. But what's most important for you guys is to understand that initially you're going to have a bunch of threads that you need to reference. So for other platforms for threads to like you as a person, in order to raise your views, you need to be referencing other threads that are so if you just send Notion links, it's not going to like you. And the best way you could do that is you could still basically include other threads in your content, but in the pill of freedom itself, guys, in the pill of freedom itself, you want to actually have relevant thread. So what I did is over here, I included relevant thread. So over here, you could easily create any kind of property. Over here, this is a URL property. You could easily go ahead and pick any other property like email, person, phone number, relation, all that other stuff, all that good stuff. And watch how we're going to expand this a little bit further. So the next thing what you want to do, just keep something in mind. Once you create all this, all you got to do is you're going to be just remember the most difficult part in automations and anything related to building any business is having the correct metadata. If you don't have the correct metadata, meaning all of those taggings, all of the stuff, forget about doing anything with AI, because it's just you're not gonna be able to streamline your operations, and you're gonna be constant process prisoner. So that is the first thing which you want to do. You want to create that metadata. So how do you create the metadata, and how do you find all those people who have the fire products? Don't worry, we're gonna create a fire automation that will help you identify people with trending tasks, like with trending YouTube channels that doesn't have a lot of subscribers, yet got a lot of views. So this way you could literally mimic their information and reproduce whatever the content that they're reproducing, but you're going to do that in context of your brand. So and you're going to be expanding on that information further, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But the first thing first, we're gonna construct this guide, because essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this thing, right, and we're gonna share, copy the link, right, copy the link, and we're gonna include that link on threads, and we're gonna include it in Google Sheet. Later on, I'll show you how to, like, you don't even have to include in Google Sheet. It will just automatically will drop into the Google Sheet based on those little things that you specify over here. So if it's a product threads bots rag, so this is like a sub product, but let's say I specify that threads bots product, threads bots rag, then over here, this is where it's gonna go in this threads bots. It's gonna go in the section, and it's gonna literally show whatever is inside of Notion, like what we are doing over here. What's the title? And the title is Feudal Incubator Training, Building Your Second Brain with Superbase, right? And the idea here is your little your little AI, like a extension, is going to reference this information. Why? Because it's going to be in Google Sheets. And then what you're going to do, you're going to include this little thing over here inside of Ask Chat. Where is it? Whatever, the Ask GPT. So ask screenshot for so this little template, you're going to go ahead and you're going to paste. This is the free extension, guys. I already showed it to you in previous workshops, but effectively it's like your mini way of supercharging your bots, and you could change like selection. So next time when you select something as you're communicating on threads, you could call it over here digital mom, bougie mom bot, right? And then just include the script, the entire spreadsheet, and you're good to go. So you include the spreadsheet that is going to be generated automatically from where? From Notion, right? Right now, we don't have that automation here. We don't really care about it. I'm going to show you how to do it first, but you kind of have to understand the whole context of what we're doing, how we searching for information, how we're sniping information, how we're creating the metadata, and what exactly are we doing, how are we monetizing it, okay? So the next thing what I want you to do, guys, is, so now that I've explained everything relevant to Notion, right? So what I'll do is I'm going to kind of drop out of this and go to the actual metadata over here, right? So I included bio.link /Creative Fusion System. So right now, guys, just keep something in mind. We are building our own feudal kingdom, our own feudal kingdom. Like, I'm building my feudal kingdom, and you're building your feudal kingdom. And together, we will succeed, providing that you guys listen and providing that you actually do this. Now, check this out. While I'm building my feudal kingdom, my brand, and I wanted to make sure that as I create information, I can easily reference information within the pills of freedom. And so what does that mean by pills of freedom? Pills of freedom means literally be able to get that freedom without you having to constantly recall information, what it's all about, because everything is right here in Notion in a nice, beautiful way. Over here, I included a couple of things. I included a Google Drive, but I could easily have included what's called GitHub. So GitHub pull requests. So integrating GitHub together with Notion, so this way, any kind of changes that I do in a code can be automatically updated on GitHub. So this way you can create information on GitHub for how to do something, right? So ideally, what you want to do is populate as much as possible information inside of that pill of freedom that will make it easy for you to create the workshops, the very same workshops that I'm creating right now, and I could just easily kind of look at things and describe each part with the program name. This is a Freedom Fusion track. Okay, well, that's great. This is Freedom Fusion track. Do I have other programs? Sure, I have other programs, but I wanted to be specific. I wanted to show, right now I'm inside of the Freedom Fusion track, and there's not that many pills of freedom. It may look like I'm not offering any kind of AI content-driven automation services. So I wanted to create few pills of freedom to hit the ground running and show you guys the differences between the Freedom Fusion Digital Feudal Incubator and Freedom Fusion Track. Freedom Fusion Track is where you learn how to create your own AI content-driven automations. You learn how to build your own agency. All of that with you get to pop those blue pills, red pills, etc. You get practical experiences. You get provided with a pill, and you need to actually do the pill. And then when you finish the pill, the tracking for whether you're finished or not is going to be reflected in Side Hustler Tracker. So as soon as you get assigned the pill, your name is going to go in here. Then as you continuously pop those pills, your score continuously increases. Over here, I put like Fike. He's from Pakistan. I put Jordan. His cumulative score goes up and up and up. So, and of course, as you can see, you could build those kind of Notion workflows relatively simple, and then automate them and make it all possible, and make it possible to grow on its own and populate those charts. Now, the thing is, well, I don't want to get too much sidetracked from because now I'm tapping into the data analytic field versus actually kind of talking about the original thing that I wanted to show you, which is how do you snipe the products and what exactly do you do and how do you build your own product? And is it part of what threats? Is it how do you build your own bundle? Right now, what I'm doing, guys, obviously this is one of the products, right? So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to include bundle, which I'm going to include product bundle. So this way, it's clear to for which bundle it refers to. So I'm going to go ahead and literally I'm going to quickly I put product bundle, and over here, guess what? I'm going to make it and I'm going to edit the property, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it multi-select. Okay, so right now we're just tapping it into Notion. It's one of those skills, and then over here we'll put what? Threads stack. So this is thread stack, and look, I could now select threads stack. Now, what kind of software are we covering over here? Well, tools. So what is missing here? We're missing tools, right? So there's certain tools. So I'm gonna put what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create another property called tech stack, right? So right now I'm putting tech stack, and guess what? Now I'm just gonna select away. So where's tech stack? Right here. So what is gonna be part of tech stack? I'm gonna go ahead and choose edit properties, and I'm gonna quickly select multi-select and quickly include Superbase, and let's see, tech stack. Hold on, Superbase. We'll go here, edit properties. We create Superbase. That's one of them. So now all of a sudden, guess what? We have Superbase, and we have it over here. What else? What else is part of this? Because I know already, because how do I know what's inside of this tech stack? Remember, what you did, you found a YouTube video that's trending, and you're creating a quick guide out of it. You're creating a quick pill of freedom. from this. And keep something in mind, your pills of freedom needs to be structured in a way where you are basically either A, showing some theoretical activity, or B, showing practical activity. So this one is literally it's a blue pill specifically that that allows you to learn how to do all this, how to build your second brain. And as you can see, here's why you want to build the second brain. Notice how, as I expanded, it just kind of makes things easier. So you want to build your second brain because you can reference information that you no longer have to remember, minimize hallucinations in AI, and build applications faster. Become freedom founder versus process prisoner. Reduce the need to remember everything about your brand. Knowing everything and bottling up information in your brain and trying to recall it can be very difficult. With your second brain threads bots RAG product, it can no longer have to be it doesn't have to be difficult anymore. And imagine if you can have a life like this, and with second brain by your side, having life like this can be reality. So guys, you quickly saw an example of how I went ahead and I just literally showed you the reason why you want to be able to grow your brain and why you actually got to have that second brain, build your second brain. And the skills that I just tapped into is like content creation skills. And you see in the video, it looks fire. I have another Feudal incubator for that. It's called Freedom Fusion Content. It's obviously another set of skills. This is where you, in Freedom Fusion Content, you learn how to create fire looking videos like this and get connected with brands. This is absolutely insane. Feudal incubator is different from Freedom Fusion Track. And of course, it's different from Freedom Fusion Digital. But Freedom Fusion Digital is the only Feudal incubator that takes a combination of different types of hybrid skills with hyper focus on digital marketing. And but the idea about connecting with brand is actually across all of the Feudal incubators, as well as then across Feudal Kingdom Academy. So meaning, in simple words, if you get very good, what I could do for you is I could help you get connected with some of the luxury brands, moms, bougie moms. I call them the feudal lords, who for whom you can create a bunch of videos in case if you are interested in Freedom Fusion content and are interested in building a bunch of videos and get on a monthly retainer and get the monthly income from those bougie moms who really need experts who can create fire looking videos like what I just showed, and also get paid on a commission basis as an extra gravy. This is a heck of a lot better than just sitting there and creating automations to infinity and doing absolutely nothing, hoping for the best. Uh, why not just combine your AI content-driven automation skills with Freedom Fusion content? Notice how natively I went ahead and I introduced the pitch in context of showing you uh, all this information just from one pill of freedom. Notice how effortlessly I was able to correlate this information and explain this information. Why? Because I'm literally, when I'm creating content, guys, I'm hyper focusing on one niche audience. That's one another thing that you got to do when you're building your feudal kingdom. You have to focus on your niche audience. Now, this particular video is going to be, this pill of freedom is actually going to be great for both communities. It could be great for Freedom Fusion Path community, and it could be great for Freedom Fusion Land community. Now, what happens when I select Freedom Fusion Path and Freedom Fusion Land? Well, guys, what's going to happen is the pills of freedom are automatically going to fly in into Freedom Fusion Land or Freedom Fusion Path. So Freedom Fusion Path, this is Freedom Fusion Path. And as you can see, here's all sorts of other things relevant in Freedom Fusion Path, all of those different different pieces of information. It's, you could think of it as different channels. And what happens is inside of those channels, you could have all sorts of, um, you could literally see those pills of freedom dropping in. You could go ahead, feudal lords can go ahead and you could get work requests. So let's say if a feudal lord from Freedom Fusion Land went ahead and dropped like a work request for you, you're going to be able to see it in Freedom Fusion Path community. Other moms who are part of the feudal incubator also going to be able to see that, providing that you are part of Freedom Fusion digital feudal incubator. That's where the work request comes from, but also there's going to be work requests coming in for AI content driven automations as well that are part of Freedom Fusion Track. So in here, Freedom Fusion Track, as you can see, here's automation review. Here's also this is the channel. Here's all this kind of different context over here. You could take a look at Feudal Hustlers, how I use AI automations to market to Feudal Hustlers. So Feudal Hustlers are very powerful kind of people who work in Freedom Fusion Track, leading the army of side hustlers to freedom. They are they're coaches. They do the workshops. They have very powerful skills, hybrid skills that where they could literally show you how to do all sorts of automations and you could learn from them. Those are the feudal hustlers. So what I just did right now, guys, it literally quickly just flew across entire kind of tech stack that I have. And of course, as I showed you earlier, information gets dropped automatically. And if something was modified, it would, for example, when I modified the pill automatically in Slack, you would see it went from in progress to from empty to in progress. It changed from small letter Y to capital letter Y. So that tracking also gets done in Slack. And the reason why I use Slack and Discord, Slack, you could do a lot more automations and it's just going to be a lot easier to track. So when, let's say, a pill of freedom is assigned to you, and you join the Freedom Fusion Track community, or if you join Freedom Fusion Digital, or if you join Freedom Fusion Content, then what's going to be happening is obviously you need to complete the work that is assigned to you, and that work meaning so this way when you pop the pill, you learn from it. There's going to be a little button that you say, yep, I popped the pill, and you specify yes or no, right? And that's going to be a way for us to track you to see how well you're progressing. And of course, I'll show you how to design that more further, but the most important part for you here, guys, is to kind of understand the thread stack and tech stack. So thread stack and tech stack, you could kind of quickly already distill from all this information that I was showing you, plus including the Discord. And of course, inside of the Discord, this is where you get to actually, where we get to have those workshops. So in Freedom Fusion Path, this is for Feudal Incubator. So Freedom Fusion Path community is specifically for digital faceless marketing moms or any other kind of side hustlers who are starting out, who want to learn about either content skills or digital marketing skills or pitching skills or AI automation skills, depending on who you are, depending on what your interests in life. Maybe you're interested in building your own AI automation agency. If that's the case, well, then guess what? You want to join Freedom Fusion Track. Right now, I am covering this pill is actually applicable across Freedom Fusion Track, but sometimes a pill could be applicable across multiple programs. Sometimes a pill of freedom could be applicable across multiple communities and multiple programs. And guess what? When that is the case, boom, the pill of freedom gets dropped across all of them in appropriate Discords and appropriate Slack channels. And other members who are part of those programs get to see that. And you could have multiple revenue stream produced from each of those different types of feudal incubators. So that is fire. That is amazing. That is incredible. But what's more incredible is how we're gonna build this pill of freedom a little bit further. And of course, if you're confused and you're not sure how to build pills of freedom, continue working through my workshops. So this way you could quickly learn some of those hybrid skills. You could of course watch them if you go to my bio, that link, and you click on YouTube, and this is where you get to see all of my workshops specifically. Just start watching them, start consuming them. If you do that, trust me, you're going to get those hybrid skills. Then you're going to be able to literally fly further, like a gazillion times faster than anybody else who is not learning those skills. Now, just continue watching them. You're going to see like incredible information, for example. And from time to time, I drop this. So as you can see, all of those special effects, guys, are kind of coming in really easily. So what I'll do is I'm going to kind of, let's say I like this particular video and I wanted to include in the pill of freedom. Now, keep something in mind. Your information when you're in creativity mode is going to be scattered all over the place. It's going to be scattered in your Google Drive. It's going to be scattered on YouTube. You're not going to have, you cannot just go ahead and have like an OCD to try organize things into automations all the time. No, you want to first, you got to accept the fact that information is going to be scattered all over across all of those different systems. But what you want to do is you want to make an agreement with yourself that once you figured out how this thing works manually, then you're going to go ahead and adjust this information and start organizing it and making it automated, streamlining it. But for you to do that, you really need to do a couple of things. Number one, create skeleton structure. Now, why? Because that skeleton structure and that metadata that we're producing over here is going to be easily used across other places. So over here, I'm also gonna like, what other places inside of this inside of the second brain itself? And I'll show you guys. I'm sure you guys already seen me demonstrating you the example of a second brain, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But the idea is, if you have everything, like if you do this ahead of time, guys, if you pre-create this Notion page ahead of time and do this and go live and do your Zoom workshop, and what's gonna happen is that Zoom workshop is gonna be it's gonna fly across all of your medias, across all of your social medias, and it's gonna be a gazillion times easier for you to get new leads, new subscribers, make more money if you configure all of those automations. Now, check this out. Over here, what you see is I'm using those kind of to create this thing over here, to create like this thing where this is called toggle. So you could put toggle and then just include like a toggle 3, right? And then what that means is hello, and you could include inside test 1 and then test 1 2 3 you guys got the idea, right? And then you just get Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z a couple of times. So this is what I use toggle to pretty much hide this step over here to make it easy. So this way nobody's getting overwhelmed. Then when you hit let's get started, this is what shows up. You could see step 1, begin your quest. And notice how this entire concept is, like it says it's in context of feudal kingdom terminology. Begin your quest, create sub base account, and says think of the super base as your personal castle database. It's free to start. Like I'll show, literally I use ChatGPT to go ahead and snipe somebody's content and rewrite it based on my context. And of course, I'll show you a little bit more further as we expanding further. But over here, as you can see, step 2, get your magical keys. Notice how it's communicating, like the steps are written in context of my brand. Then inside of your super base project, go here, 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 right? But so you got the idea, guys. Like what you're doing when you're creating this structure, skeleton structure, you're including everything. Now, all of this code, I just got it from another guy, right? So the guy who created this RAG solution, what I did was just literally looked at his solution and rewritten it with my own words, but it's still the same code over here. And of course, you want to give credit to this guy as well. Whenever possible, we want to give credit to creators, because essentially that can lead to collab and everything else. Plus, it could lead to collaboration on GitHub together and all sorts of other things. So you definitely want to give credit. Now, in this case, I'll show you quickly how to do this for how this whole idea came to me, how to organize like this, and what did I find other people use to kind of include all of this information in one shot. And the most important part, guys, like over here, you see the video, right? It shows you plug. So it says, okay, step 6, plug in the power and API keys. Now you're one step closer to becoming the feudal lord. Now you running your empire with automation, AI, and hybrid skip building. And then over here, I included a video. And then over here, you could kind of see what the video, and this is the video where I'm talking about. This is the tool that I'm literally demonstrating
to interface.
Your second brain, where I'm literally just popping those things in. So instead of me showing you the actual code right now, what I could do is I could just scroll to the video and literally show you the part of the video demonstrating the second brain. So over here, the second brain is running. You could include any kind of URL in it, and it will just remember the context, and you could ask all sorts of questions in it. It's a lot different than ChatGPT. I already explained why, guys, because it does deep level scraping that ChatGPT does not. So, and of course, because robots.txt is blocking it, whatever, you guys know the drill. So what you want to be doing, you want to be building some sort of a brain that you could include all of your context and be able to ask all sorts of questions. So what you do, what I did is I quickly created that. Created a video, showed an example of that video, literally showed the GitHub library here. I didn't include the brain here yet. It was just me kind of giving an example. But notice how I'm over here, I'm using Gamma site to explain what Feudal Kingdom Academy is, showing a bunch of other things, like a bunch of agents scrolling things, dropping threads for me automatically, using variety types of proxy apps. And you could kind of see that me like literally showing you this, and everything is inside of the video, and I'm no longer the process prisoner. I no longer have to open up my IDE terminal and recall everything that I was doing, showing you exactly how I build this thing. But guess what? This is the RAG scraper. That's the one that I adapted. So, and that's the video that I created, and it literally, if you want, you could modify the RAG scraper with your own UI to include whatever differences. Over here, I'm just putting GPT-4 mini, but the idea here, guys, you could use any kind of GPT, or you could use any kind of model to save costs as you populate your second brain with all sorts of, you could include pills of freedom for practical purposes. We got to try it to see if it will take the pill of freedom and if it'll populate it in there. If it does, then it's pretty cool. If it doesn't, we may need to modify it a little bit to make sure that it does do that. But the main thing here doesn't have to be AI kind of complicated tasks that you want to copy and then from somebody else and reuse it and repurpose it. What you're not really copying, what you're doing, you are taking the inspiration and including some extra context on top of it. So over here, what I did is I included other relevant videos from Google Drive. So if you click on individual, I have Google Drive, and take a look here.
Squabble up digital faceless marketing moms. Let me spill some tea for how you can do digital faceless marketing the slacker way. A lot easier way, lower effort way than doing it any other way. My name is Ron Wells and I wanted to help digital faceless marketing moms over 40 who are struggling with English skills make extra income by matching you together with other moms who don't speak very good English and helping you earn extra money. Threads Slacker is part of the Threads Slack bundle. It's a perfect guide for any digital faceless marketing mom over 40 seeking to discover freedom, but just needs a little bit of guidance, encouragement, and support. If you want to learn more, continue.
So guys, you've seen an example of just a couple of relevant videos, right? So ideally what you want to do, you want to be including more like of a YouTube videos, but sometimes there's certain private videos that you can't necessarily embed. You could make it private and YouTube try embedding it, but sometimes like the problem with YouTube, there's a limit. You could only do up to 5 videos, etc. So that could be problematic. And of course, when things are problematic, you don't want to use this multiple times. Plus there's quality reduction and all sorts of other reasoning why you want to have a backup of your videos on your Google Drive. In fact, I have OneDrive and I have Google Drive. So over here, another thing, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that other video, we're gonna take this extra video for what the Feudal Kingdom Academy is, because this thing is applicable for program type, Feudal Incubator, and it's also, believe it or not, applicable for Feudal Kingdom Academy. But I don't have Feudal Kingdom Academy in here, just because this is inside of Freedom Fusion track. That doesn't necessarily mean that the Pill of Freedom cannot apply to both types of audiences. Ideally, it's only like most of the Pills of Freedom are dedicated for the feudal lords, like I mean, for side hustlers for Feudal Incubator who are starting out, not necessarily for Feudal Kingdom Academy where you already have a brand, but some brand people, some feudal lords will find this interesting because nobody exactly shown precisely how to organize information in one shot and how to extract all this content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this relevant for Feudal Kingdom Academy because it is relevant, but not fully relevant. It's not fully tailored for the feudal lords. It's more for you guys. But over here, I went and included this program type. So it's possible to have this across multiple program types. But of course, the primary type is Feudal Incubator. So now let me go ahead and kind of show you. Over here, it's Feudal Incubator training module build, and then over here I could kind of include and say, by the way, you see over here there's a goal module overview. I included that from ChatGPT. Just I took a screenshot, and let's say other relevant programs. So if I wanted to include, what I could do is I could include other relevant programs instead of program type. What I could do is I could actually remove this and make it to just make sure we don't confuse this. We could put other relevant program. So I could include that over here, and then we'll make it multi. So multi-select, and then over here I'm just going to put Feudal Kingdom Academy. So this way you are creating the structure, so this way it kind of knows what is going on. So it's going to be gazillion times easier for you to refer to. So Feudal Kingdom Academy. So over here, so you have program type, Feudal Incubator, other relevant program, Feudal Kingdom Academy. So other relevant program. So now the question is, what do we do next? Well, the next thing is, let's put we're gonna put something else, such as, let's say we're gonna include over here, we're gonna include, let's say we wanted to include something about Feudal Incubator, Feudal Kingdom Academy, right? So so we're gonna do this toggle, right? And look, we have Google Contacts, we have Google Doc, right? So we could include other contact, but let's say we do this one, and we're gonna include, what's the difference? What's the difference between feudal, well, actually, we're gonna say this. What is Feudal Kingdom Academy? Feudal Kingdom Academy. And then over here, we're gonna include embed. I'm just gonna put embed. And then guess what? Boom, I just include that. And right away, I have YouTube video over here as well. You see how quickly I did this? And now, what is Feudal Kingdom Academy? What is Feudal Incubator? So over here, once again, we could do embed Feudal Kingdom Incubator. So what do we do? How are we gonna? But guess what? I'm somewhat of a process prisoner now because I don't remember if I ever created a video that talks about what is the feudal incubator, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this technique, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. And that's the reason why you have to be doing this, guys, because if you don't do it, then it's gonna be hard for you to remember. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, what is feudal incubator? Find me all the sources on the internet related to Freedom Fusion System, including YouTube and threads. So let's see if it's gonna find, and it's called Feudal Incubator as a program, but let's do this. We're gonna include that again. We're gonna search the web, and we're gonna hit that, and we're gonna try to figure it out what if you have any YouTube videos that we could refer to. So as you can see, YouTube channel, Freedom Fusion Digital YouTube channel features video on building Feudal Incubator from scratch, including workshops. Here's Pinterest, threads discussion. So we could go maybe to threads discussion. Maybe we'll find some YouTube video that's embedded there and see if we could include that. So remember that your data is going to be scattered all over the place. So over here, this is kind of okay. So over here, it shows learn AI, learn automations, want to learn hybrid skills. As you can see, it's kind of here in one thread. This is and it's covering threads stack power bundle. And the idea here behind this, guys, is, I mean, it's a very good kind of information is just lots of information over here about Freedom Fusion Path, about what the Freedom Fusion automation is. And this is Freedom Fusion Pitch example, not necessarily Freedom Fusion Track, but over here, you could kind of scroll to the right. You could see all those workshops that are here. And this thread is very powerful. It shows a lot of information about including Pills of Freedom and all sorts of other information that would be very useful in lots of Pills of Freedom over here. And it would be very useful for me to reference, but it doesn't answer directly what is Feudal Incubator. So spending money on a store, funnel, mini school, Freedom Fusion System is in combo with hybrid skills from Feudal Incubator, and your very own Threads Booster Guide is perfect combination for moms over 40 seeking to take their side hustling journey to the under control to become the boss mom in 2025. So, I mean, this is good. This is very good. But once again, it's like, it doesn't really try Freedom Fusion System instead. It saves money on ManyChat, Stand Store, Beacon, email nurturing campaigns. So a lot of very powerful thread, guys. It would be crazy not to include that. We could try embedded code. Let's see if we could take that embedded code and include that in Notion real quick. And to make it super rich, to give as much context as possible to your audience as you're creating your program, you will find it kind of your information will not be relevant 100%. What you want to do, you want to make it relevant for that pill of freedom. So the best way to do it is go back to that pill of freedom, find it, and literally see if you could literally include it inside of it. And over here, what do we have? Let's say, so we talked about what is Feudal Kingdom Academy. We included this, right? Now we're kind of building this. We're building this thing, and this is the reason why you guys have to learn how to actually build content, because this way you can easily, you just could come in and create all of this thing and just make a super fire looking guide. But if you're not really doing that, if you don't have content, if you didn't learn how to create content, which is part of Threads Booster for how to create content, then of course it's going to be difficult for you to build those kind of guides as what you see building over here. But you're more than welcome to hire one of our side hustlers who can create videos for you like this, like the ones that I showed. But the idea here is you take this, and now I'm just trying to find a spot, for including this kind of, hold on, let me try to edit it and see what kind of options are available. So over here, I included this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna in embed. Let's see if it's gonna embed link. No, so Notion doesn't allow you to embed threads. So that's one downside, but I could include this in here. And let's see, can I include relevant threads? Can I include this as, let's see, what kind of property can I come up with? What if I do multi-select? And no, I can't do multi-select. It has to be the URL. I was thinking about including it, making it URL. Anyway, the bottom line is I'll take this. So if you do have some sort of information about your particular context and you wanted to include that,
My name
then
is Rome Wells.
I come to you with my feudal army.
And give you the pills of freedom. Administered by
Okay,
feudal
so
bots.
I like this. I like this whole concept of the pill of freedom administered by feudal bots. But guess what, guys? I need to be able to reference this. And let's say I don't remember where it is. So I do have another extension that allows you to download things. So there's this download button. You refresh download, and guess what? Now you could go ahead and download the video. So now we're quickly compiling this and including the Pill of Freedom video. So this way you could kind of relatively quickly come across all of these different pieces of content, build a very powerful looking guide. My name, Pills of Freedom. So right now, guess what? I have this Pill of Freedom. I could easily pop that in. And look, I'm not kind of overthinking this. I'm just kind of doing it and literally just showing it to you how to do this yourself. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to include Pill of Freedom. So what is feudal incubator? Before I start over here, let me just go here in the beginning. And okay, what is the Pill of Freedom? And then I'm going to include this thing. And guess what? Now, the question is, where is this Pill of Freedom located? I could include file. Let's see, upload, choose file, and I could go to downloads, Pill of Freedom. I could do it this way. It will let up a little bit of bandwidth. So ideally you wanna avoid that. And notice how I didn't really show anything up either, right? So the other thing what you could do is you could find that Pill of Freedom somewhere else. So let's say you could do Google Drive. So if you do the Google Drive, you could browse that and choose Freedom Fusion System, and then search Pill of Freedom. And of course, because it's not part of the actual Google Drive, because we never uploaded it there, it's not going to be there. So what we're going to do, we're going to quickly go to G Drive, and we're going to go here, and we're going to find the folder, appropriate folder for us. So we're going to have, we could create one. So if you're not sure, just create a new folder. and then Pills of Freedom. Boom. So right now I'm just kind of uploading this thing into Pills of Freedom. Sometimes you may forget where you downloaded this thing, so you could easily just hit download again if you forget, and it will just open it up over here in that Pill of Freedom section. So then you just quickly hit the delete button, so this way never sit there trying to figure it out like, ooh, what's going on? Where's a file that I uploaded, and then looking for it, breaking your head. Don't do this, guys. Just do those tricks over here that I'm showing you literally on the fly. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna copy this in Google G Drive. So this is no longer located here. So what I'll do is battery is low. Let me go ahead and plug that in, but first let me just hit pause. Okay, guys, I just unpaused. And by the way, you see this screen? This is my other automation still kicking in. The one that we haven't removed, the one that we haven't implemented fully yet. So I'm gonna go to Pills of Freedom over here, and I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm gonna throw it to the left side, and I'm gonna throw it to the right side like this, right? So Pill of Freedom, and I'm just gonna drag it like this. Boom. So start using Windows as well, guys, to split your screen quickly. So right now it's being uploaded, and guess what? While it's being uploaded, when I upload this to a new folder, there is no automation of any sort that's taking place. There is no automation like when I upload it to YouTube and it just drops things into YouTube, or when I upload it to Zoom folder, it drops things into Zoom. So, but guess what? Take a look over here.
How I use automations to market Feudal Hustlers. Welcome back, folks. My name is Ron Wells, and today I'm going to be talking about how I use AI-driven automations to market Feudal Hustlers. So guys, it's time to promote my Feudal Hustlers who can truly help you, the side hustler, discover freedom. Note, my Feudal Hustlers are no random strangers. They tied together by common Freedom Fusion goal. Their goal is Freedom Fusion Flip, to help you learn how to build the feudal land, grow, harvest it, then either keep it or flip it, while doing so for a good cause. For example, helping feudal knights build a business while helping side hustlers unlock new skills. So what does the Feudal Hustler do? What I did for you guys is showed you a quick diagram on buymeacoffee.com/Freedom Fusion System. What you see in that diagram is basically the Freedom Fusion System brand. And you get to see how all the Feudal Hustlers who are part of that brand get to be interconnected to the very same goal. So this way, information that is provided across workshops is consistent and not random. So, which brings us to the next point, which is how do we do that? And what is the purpose of you learning from a Feudal Hustler? Well, you see, Feudal Hustlers have incredible skills of helping you truly discover freedom. And you can find those skills and learn about them in Freedom Fusion Path community. Now, the good part about it, about every Feudal Hustler, is the fact that when they create a workshop, it gets automatically recorded and it gets placed into a Freedom Fusion Path community. And if a Feudal Hustler creates a workshop about something that's relevant to the Feudal Lords, well then it gets dropped automatically into Freedom Fusion Land community. Now, I like to use automations as much as possible to help myself not to be the process prisoner. And of course, if you wanted to learn how not to be the process prisoner, you could visit me and check out my workshop that is happening every Saturday. You could take a look at that workshop and see that it's happening every Saturday by navigating to bio.link/Freedom Fusion System. All you gotta do is register for the workshop. It's absolutely free, and I will show you how not to be a process prisoner with AI-driven automations. So this way you can grow your feudal land, then keep it or flip it. So that's basically what the bottom line is, and you could learn how to do that, gain hybrid skills, and you could discover those skills in the workshops that I'm doing specifically in the world of AI-driven automations. Now, if you wanted to learn any other skills, you can jump into the workshops of other Feudal Hustlers, ranging from Freedom Fusion Pitch Product, Freedom Fusion Content, Freedom Fusion Track, and Freedom Fusion Digital. In Freedom Fusion Digital workshop, not only will you learn digital marketing, but you will also learn how to build entire Freedom Fusion Digital Bus, our newly developed digitization service that me and the Feudal Knight Lee are offering for Feudal Hustlers and side hustlers who truly want to discover how to build their own small little feudal land, grow it, then flip it or keep it. And in the process of building this Freedom Fusion Digital Bus, side hustlers who join us can resell our digitization service through our book appointment system. And of course, inside of a workshop that I run on Saturday, I can show you how to do that. And the best part about it, you get access to incredible tools that otherwise you would have to pay a lot of money for. In fact, we're actually selling our Freedom Founder Plan for $2,000 a month to many feudal lords in terms of utilizing those automations, AI-driven automations. Clearly, not every side hustler can afford that, which is precisely the reason why we created the Feudal Incubator, where you could join and unlock the skills, the hybrid skills that are not taught in college. And not only that, you get to truly build your own feudal land in the process. Your own little piece of feudal land that you can grow and truly prosper from it. And I'll show you how. And Feudal Hustlers will also show you how across their workshops that they're specifically delivering in context of a singular Freedom Fusion goal, in which case it happens to be the Freedom Fusion Flip goal. And of course, for a good cause. It's not just all about, let's build a business and flip it, right? It's more about, can we build something for a good cause and then flip it or keep it? Now, continue guys reading the rest of the buymeacoffee.com/Freedom Fusion System article, and you will get better understanding what this whole chart means. But the idea behind it is every feudal hustler runs a workshop, and each workshop has pre-configured topics to cover where feudal hustlers upsell AI-driven automations in combination with leading the army of side hustlers with feudal hustlers' core area of expertise. Example, pitching, content, automations, copywriting, AI, trading, etc. We are different than any other platform. We're not a platform, but rather a social experiment that helps side hustlers and feudal lords discover how to become freedom founder versus being the process prisoner. And each feudal hustler runs the Freedom Fusion Flip workshop, which is part of the Feudal Incubator that helps side hustlers hatch out of their eggshells and fly towards freedom. Our AI-driven automations automatically drop recorded workshops into dedicated channel inside of either Path or Land community into either free or premium channels, depending on what type of workshop that is. If it's feudal lord related, then it would get dropped into Freedom Fusion Land. And if it's side hustler related, it would get dropped into Freedom Fusion Path community. We're signing new feudal hustlers that are representing Freedom Fusion System brand. And each feudal hustler designs topics to be around 30-minute workshop that side hustler or feudal lord can watch. Feudal hustlers cover both sides, feudal lords and side hustlers across multiple workshops. With every audience that they cover, they get bigger feudal share. All feudal hustlers being building feudal land. In this case, it's Freedom Fusion System that helps feudal lords and side hustlers truly discover freedom. So I think this kind of quantifies everything that I was able to describe in this podcast. In the next podcast, what I'll do.
So guys, as you can see, this was a quick little thing over here. And what we're going to do, we're going to try to embed some of those things inside of a actual, over here we got pills of freedom, right? So pills of freedom, that was the first thing that we wanted to include. Remember, we're creating a product. So what is the pill of freedom? So pill of freedom over here, and you could see we could spice this up over here, and we could do this here. What is the pill? And we're actually going to make it a toggle. So we're going to convert this into a toggle and make things clean. That's definitely, you guys want to be constantly making things clean. What is the pill of freedom? what is the Feudal Kingdom Academy, and what is the we're going to include what is the feudal incubator. So right now, guys, whenever you're creating things, you want to pre-create things not only for yourself, not only for your audience who are going to be watching you, but also uh, for actual AI as well. Just remember that. So what is the Pill of Freedom? And before the Pill of Freedom, I'm going to include what is the feudal incubators. So what is the feudal incubators? And somehow you want to hover over your main brand on top with, like, if you're gonna just talk about your brand and nobody's gonna understand the vocabulary behind it unless you specify it. So the best way to specify it is to include toggle and include to. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna drag it like this. And right now it's kind of, let's say you forgot something, you didn't do it correctly. What is the Pill of Freedom? How side hustlers, side hustling moms can learn Okay, so the answer is the answer is with pills of freedom. So right now I'm just kind of creating very quick structure, and over here you could kind of see that, oh, there's a pill of freedom. Okay, cool. I could include that. Okay, so what is a pill of freedom? The answer over here, it's embedded. That's good. Now it's not a YouTube video, but it's, if I open it up, I could still see it like this.
My name is Rome Wells.
I come.
So can we embed this directly? Let's see, are there any options for embedding? Okay, so there's text translate, there's options for any of this stuff. Let's see, I don't see any options for embedding, align, expand, etc. So what I could do is I could include something. If you're wondering what pills of freedom are, check this video out. So I could include this. Now, this looks really good. This pill of freedom is very powerful. So over here, and you could kind of include, you could expand this, right, and see what's going on. So this is very good context, guys. And over here on the right-hand side, how side hustling moms can learn. So what is the answer is with pills of freedom. And now I'm gonna kind of close this out. And I'm gonna close this out. Notice how it's constant, like we're building this product further and further. Check this out. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give quick description. So what is Feudal Kingdom Academy? This is, I need to include something like what is feudal incubators, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create, and here we're just gonna modify this and include what is toggle. So we're gonna do toggle again, and we're gonna do what is feudal incubator. So we're gonna include that, and this time let's actually search for feudal incubator. Maybe we could do this. This time let's go to ChatGPT again. ChatGPT again. Search. Show me what is feudal incubator across threads.net and YouTube. So we're gonna quickly search for it. Notice how I'm using ChatGPT as I've mentioned to you before. So this is a feudal incubator. Here's an example of Freedom Fusion digital feudal incubator. Example of Freedom Fusion digital.
You go, oh, okay.
So
Of what that is, of how this whole thing works.
and this is the
Okay.
video, by the way, for how to drop content, how pills of freedom getting dropped into each individual channel. If you guys ever get stuck, you could always check this out. But this is the idea. So over here it says the Feudal Incubator is a coaching program designed for side hustlers, particularly moms over 40, aiming to develop hybrid skills and connect with brands. Participants receive personalized roadmaps to guide, etc., etc., etc. Right? And here's a bunch of YouTube videos. Look, there is a bunch of YouTube here videos that we could see for Freedom Fusion system. So we could scroll ourselves and see basically what the what the Freedom Fusion system is here. We could just kind of see what's going on. Why join Feudal Incubators? So I think this is a good video. So over here we
This is
could.
why you need Freedom Fusion. Your side hustle deserves to thrive, and we've got the toolkit to make it happen. With Freedom Fusion's Feudal Incubators, you get a treasure trove of benefits. Our Feudal Hustlers are equipped with amazing skills to help side hustlers like you make money in every incubator. Feudal Incubators are designed for side hustlers to break out of their shells and discover true freedom. Whether you're aiming to build an AI agency, crush it on TikTok, or dive into Forex trading, we've got you covered. For AI and automation, connect with Feudal Hustler Luca. Want to dominate TikTok? Tom's your guy. Copy trades with Andrew or build a subscription service with Lee Shedwood. Leroy's got your AI content-driven solutions. And Rome will teach you to pitch like a pro. Remember, all Feudal Hustlers and Knights are top-tier pros. Get on an onboarding call to discuss your perfect Feudal Incubator. Your side hustle.
So I think this is good, guys.
Discover freedom, join the Feudal Incubator today, and we will help you unlock your future you. Discovering your future you doesn't have to be complicated. We can help you succeed. Join our Feudal Incubator, and I promise you, you will not regret. So this way, we can fly together towards freedom, free like a bird. Visit freedomfusionsystem.com to book a call with your Feudal Hustler or Feudal Knight today. I'll see you next time in a Feudal Incubator. Take care.
So guys, I think this is a fire video. We're definitely going to include this as well as part of the Feudal Incubator. What is Feudal Incubator? And we once again embed. So guys, this may seem like a long, tedious process, but trust me, you want to be literally using this process. So hold on, there we go. Why join what is Feudal Kingdom Academy? So now we're kind of saying what is Feudal Incubator and what is Feudal Kingdom Academy. So we're creating the structure, but then guess what? This structure is going to be replicated across other kind of like other pills of freedom. So when you start creating a pill of freedom, it's just going to be, you're just literally going to copy, duplicate this thing, and that's it. Your entire program, multiple revenue stream system is built. So this way, everybody quickly recognizes what everything is all about, and you quickly get to capitalize on that. From multiple revenue streams, you could be making extra income. So what we're going to do, we're going to say, okay, well, I like this. What is Feudal Incubator? Freedom Fusion. So over here, I could include something like, okay, Freedom Fusion Track is one of those. Freedom Fusion Track happens to be one of the Feudal Incubators that can help side hustlers develop hybrid skills, and learn how to build their own AI automation agency or talent agency. So this is the idea, and then we're going to include this. We're going to kind of make it real nice. Then we could definitely do something more over here, guys. What we're going to do, we're going to come back to buy me a coffee. So let's say we are example of the Feudal Incubator. So what we could do over here, we're going to go to YouTube, and we're going to see
Configure
example.
notification for additional options. You know what? I don't know. Hold on, let me double check.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly include example of the Feudal Incubator. So we're building the Feudal Kingdom, guys. Here's an example. Here's an example workshop from another Feudal Incubator called Freedom Fusion Digital. So right now, notice how I'm tapping into the skill of copywriting. Freedom Fusion Digital. And then I'm going to make it kind of a standout. Freedom Fusion Track. Definitely want to make it stand out. Freedom Fusion Track. Like this. The Freedom Fusion Track. Feudal. So what is Feudal Incubator? Here's an example workshop from for another Feudal Incubator called Freedom Fusion Digital. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to embed, and boom, once again, right now we embedded that. So right now we're quickly constructing the skeleton structure of the entire program, guys. And of course, you have to create those workshops, and you're going to learn how to do this as part of the Feudal Kingdom Academy. In case if you are interested in learning how to build your own community, specifically your own Feudal Kingdom Academy, sort of like just like the one that I'm building, where you have all of those videos, all of those processes, all of those programs, and this way you could create your multi-stream revenues income. Then Feudal Kingdom Academy is where I explicitly show how to build this, how to build the entire Feudal Kingdom. But today's workshop is all about sniping the actual products. And in the process of doing that, I figured I'm just going to kind of show you guys how I'm updating this and doing this across multiple layers. And of course, let's take a look at threads just to kind of give an idea. You want to spice things up by including threads inside of your Notion as well. So over here, here's an example, simple website. So over here, this one is talking about Freedom Fusion system. Plus, cool part about Freedom Fusion system, it comes with Feudal Incubator sold separately. So over here, the entire concept about Freedom Fusion system is described as well. So that is a very good benefit. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna over here it says moms who join my Feudal Incubator will get their own Freedom Fusion system and can use system to funnel customers. So I'm going to click on that to see how extensive this thread. So this is very extensive. So when connecting your threads to product, use native threads functionalities, voice, video, polls, etc., etc. So over here, you could kind of see very long thread that shows you all the details. Very powerful stuff. And is good, includes combination of different types of products as well. So which is really good. So I'm going to include relevant threads. So I'm going to just go here. Who joins my Feudal Incubator gets the copy of the Freedom Fusion system. So I'm going to go here and include this inside of it. So more info about what the benefits of joining Feudal Incubator. And then over here, I'm just going to include URL. Let's try embed. Oh, okay. It actually did embed thread. I thought it wouldn't do it, but it did it, guys. I guess we used the wrong function last time when we tried to embed it. But check this out, benefit of joining Feudal Incubator. So we're building the Feudal Kingdom, guys, right in front of right in front of your eyes. You are seeing this. So benefits of joining Feudal Incubator. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna do toggle again. So once again, toggle heading, and then like this. Then over here, I'm just gonna include Feudal Incubators for side hustlers, side hustling moms, and other types of people seeking to develop hybrid skills that are not taught in college. So this is a quick definition. I'm gonna include this once again, guys, as a toggle. We don't want to overcrowd this thing, and we're doing this as a toggle. Over here, quick definition. I'm actually gonna take this and I'm just gonna call it examples. Toggle examples Feudal incubators. What Feudal incubators do we offer? And then over here, I'm just going to quickly include this context over here like this. I'm just kind of copying this, guys, and literally not really doing much other than just kind of copying this. Let's see, like this, got. And then this one is going to be also Freedom Fusion Digital, Feudal Incubator, Workshop example. And once again, I'm just doing the toggle. So all of this is looking clean. What is Feudal Incubator? What is Feudal Incubator? All that other stuff. There's a space over here. We're just going to quickly get rid of it. So delete it. Now we almost finished with this. And now we got a beautiful thread over here as well that you could navigate to. And let's see. The answer is Pills of Freedom. So this thing failed for Pills of Freedom. So what we're gonna do is let's try to do something right now, guys. So we're gonna upload this. First of all, we're gonna quickly go to YouTube and see if we could find the Pill of Freedom on YouTube. So we're quickly just searching for that. And of course, if you don't have a lot of kind of a lot of different pills, then it's gonna be okay. Now I do have lots of YouTube videos that could be used as well, that could spice up those pills of freedom that we didn't even use. Unveiling the Path to Freedom, this is a good one as well. But we really kind of, here's a Feudal Hustler. This is a very good one as well. So Fly to Freedom with Us, it's a motivational. So over here, I'm kind of listing multiple Feudal incubators, guys, which is also great. And here's a Freedom Fusion path, and it's kind of listing everything, more info about. So I could include that as well, context. But the pills of freedom are almost. We definitely need to solve that problem first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna include additional context over here for what is additional info about over here. So I'm gonna include more motivational, more reasoning for why to join Feudal incubators. And of course, I'm gonna go ahead and do toggle again, and boom, again, I'm just gonna more reasons to join, more reasons, embed, once again, go here and boom, here, more reasons to join Feudal Incubator and Freedom Fusion Path community. So right now I'm just creating that context, guys, super fast. I'm doing this. And once it's done, that's it. It's just referencing that same pill of freedom in context of all of your threads. So this way, people quickly understand everything that you offer. Because anytime you create a new thread, people forget exactly what you offer, and then you're a constant process prisoner, referencing the same information multiple times. So over here, Freedom Fusion Digital, more reasons to join Feudal Incubator and Freedom Fusion Path community. So over here, you kind of see over here that community being. And over here, you can kind of see side hustlers, Feudal hustlers. And then I mentioned Freedom Fusion content as well in there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mention, so what kind of incubators do we offer? Freedom Fusion Digital, Freedom Fusion Track, so Freedom Fusion content, and of course Freedom Fusion Pitch. Learn how this is where you learn how to literally create content like a maniac. And it's, trust me, this is like creating this content, guys. This is what made Pepsi company build a drink out of my company's name. They seen the content, it was fire. They thought it was fire. They built a drink. I kid you not. Go to my Buy Me Coffee, and you're gonna see exactly Pepsi getting it. Heck, I could probably just go there now and show it to you. Buy Me Coffee. Look, Pepsi created a drink after my company's name, after seeing my content. After seeing my content, guys, like they created actual drink called Freedom Fusion. Look,